Boys, it's chins. Emmett versus Vallejos just wrapped up, and this was a fucking generational card. As generational as it gets. I think it's the greatest Apex card of all time. Um, Maybe tied with that one card that had that crazy Ribovix fight and that Chris Duncan versus Mateusz Rebecki fight. But regardless, every fight, literally every fight, as opposed to maybe one of them, I guess the women's fight in the beginning, was absolutely batshit crazy. Absolutely batshit crazy. Starting with Pierre Rodriguez and Sam Hughes. I went 8 and 6 on the card. I believe there were 14 fights, right? Yeah. I'm not fucking that up. 8 and 6 on this card. I got the important fights right. Starting with Pierre Rodriguez and Sam Hughes. I picked Sam Hughes. I didn't care about this fight. There you go. Hetra Sosa, Luan Lacerda. This fight was fucking insane. I don't know what the fight of the night was tonight. I don't know if they've announced them yet. Yeah, they haven't. But Hetra Sosa and Luan Lacerda is definitely like top 3 tonight. That was insane. I picked Hetra Sosa by decision. The chins on these motherfuckers. Tonight, this whole card was a chin performance, unless your name was Josh Emmett. Like, unbelievable chins on these guys. Unbelievable chins. Hetra Sosa, long, lanky, big shots, rangy fighter. These guys are fucking insanely fucking fun to watch. I didn't think this would be a great fight, and they proved me wrong. Hetra Sosa, very impressive win. Bia Mesquita, okay, actually, a woman fighter that is fucking outstanding and very fun to watch, that pressures people and goes for the sub, goes for the finish. Very, very exciting finish. Nothing much to say, but she dropped her bad, and she took the back and subbed her. Crazy. That's crazy. You don't see that these days. That's some Amanda Nunes shit. That's some Kayla Harrison. Not even some Kayla Harrison. Kayla Harrison would have fucking 30-26'd her. Crazy. Eric Anders, Brad Tavares. I hate Eric Anders with a burning passion. I'm so happy that he's retired. I fucking hate him. I hate him. I picked Brad Tavares. I thought that the takedown defense would hold up. I didn't think Eric Anders would literally basically chin Tavares in the first round. I don't know how Tavares was fighting back. That was impressive. Crazy chin performance. Like, who would have thought you'd have to out fucking tough Eric Anders? But it happened and he lost. Crazy. Not a crazy fight, but it was a good fight. It wasn't anything nuts. I'm happy Eric Anders is out. Moving on. This was my fight of the night. This is, let me just look through real quick. Let me look through. I don't know, actually. I forgot about the Rahiki fight. Man, this card was fucking nuts, man. Manuel Sosa and Balaji Oki went to absolute fucking war. It was a back and forth, just fucking absolute slugfest. And at the end in the last round, Sosa pulled away from Oki. He was starting to read the counters of Oki. He was starting to really, get a second wind almost in the gas tank. And Oki was starting to fade, and there was the last 2 or 3 minutes of the fight, Oki could not land a strike for his life. And when he did, Sosa just walked through it. And Sosa was just laying it on Oki. Insane. I know he got flatline at the end. Insane chin performance by Big Balaji Oki. At the end, Sosa grabbed his arm to keep him from throwing it, like Carlos Prates against Chuck Buffalo, whatever the fuck that guy's name is. And just fucking slept him with a big straight right on the chin, right on the temple. Insane fight, insane finish. Second best fight of the card. Elijah Smith. He submitted you. And he did it in an insane way. He got ragdolled in the first round, and then he submitted you. He knocked you down easily, and then took the back, made him tap very quickly, very tight choke. Insane. This card was fucking generational. Elijah Smith is one of the best prospects in the UFC. Insane. I fucking love this guy. I think he's the second best prospect or third best prospect in the UFC. It's Elijah Smith, Jacoby Smith, and Kevin Vallejos. They're all interchangeable. Insane. Vitor Petrino versus Steven Asplunge. Boys, we gotta slow it down. Pour one out for my boy Steven Asplunge. Because this was a fucking war as well. Dropped Petrino badly in the first round. Thought it was completely over. Because Petrino tends to gas very easily. Petrino couldn't get a takedown for his life. And he just... I don't know. Asplunge kind of hit an adrenaline dump. He didn't have the same cardio that he did in the first fight. In his first fight in the UFC against Sheriff. But, Petrino Petrino showed a tiny bit of heart. I don't know. The third round was so fucking gay because he kept fucking walking away from him like he was just completely gassed. But good on Petrino for staying in there. This was a crazy fight. Extremely back and forth. I'm losing track of almost how good. This was like one of those cards where it was like just a sensory overload. It's like you're watching a one Muay Thai card, you know? It's like there's too much action. It was fucking insane. This fight was wild. Pour one out for my boy Ass Plunge, but I don't think he lost much stock there. It was a crazy fight. He's just a brawler, man. Moving on. Okay, this fight fucking stunk. But Oralby did break the takedown record. I believe it was GSP's, right? He landed 19 takedowns in a fight. He was too short of Khabib's record. That's impressive. Even when the fights were boring on this card, you had something like monumental like that. Chris Curtis is tough. Oralby is an actually legitimate crazy contender. I fucking love this guy. He is so exciting until you have a fight like this, but I guarantee you in the next one now he's going to go out and slime some motherfucker out like he did to Jack Hermanson. Crazy, man. Not a crazy fight, but you know, I just can't get over this card. This fight was fucking crazy, man. This fight was fucking crazy. Energy, he went in there. Hold on. Before I say anything, 30-27 is a little bit crazy. All right, I scored at 30-27 for Bruno Silva. All right, I know that's a little nuts, but I thought it was a lot more reasonable on the Silva end than the Energy end. But hey, maybe I'm retarded. I picked Bruno Silva here. I thought he would brutally flatline Energy, but Energy got the dog in him, and he kind of just came forward in the first two rounds, and you know he's piecing him up against the cage, and Silva wasn't able to do much. Although I thought he was landing the better shots. I guess I'm fucking wrong about that. And the third round was just batshit crazy. This was another fight that was absolutely insane. One of the best fights on the card. In the third round, they just started going balls to the wall, just trading shots in a phone booth right in the center. Crazy fight. Bruno Silva is a good fighter. I think Bruno Silva is a really good fighter. Crazy finishing potential. I'm saying crazy way too much. Really, really high finishing potential. Very exciting fighter. I thought he'd win this fight dominantly, but he didn't. Energy won the fight. I don't think he won, but moving on. There's not much to say about this. I don't really give a fuck about Iwan Kutalaba or Umar Sy. I picked Umar Sy. I thought he'd kill him, to be honest. This was a wild upset. Iwan is just... He's turning into a bit of a very dangerous submission artist at this point in his career. Like, he's kind of just... He can get you from anywhere. He got that arm triangle. I believe it was against... not Iwan, fucking... who's that one guy? That one guy. I'm not going to check, but he got a submission against... Oh, Ibo Aslan. He got an arm triangle a couple years ago or a year ago. That's impressive. Like, he's starting to just snatch up chokes. Nothing much to say. Umar Sy just sucks. He's really bad. He's literally like the Daniel Zellhuber of this division. He cannot pass the layups that he's given. Terrible performance by him. Really good guillotine from Kutalaba. Boys, Marwan Rahiki versus Harry Hardwick. I want a fucking apology, a group apology for Harry Hardwick. Everybody online, everybody who is a fan of this sport was saying Harry Hardwick is the worst fighter to be signed in the UFC since Chris Moutinho, whatever the fuck it was. I picked Harry Hardwick by submission. And I said that he would drop him, you know, catch him on the chin and maybe grab a choke. I know he lost, but with the way that the people online were picking this fight, it made it seem like Rahiki was going to absolutely destroy Hardwick. This fight was... It's the second best fight of the year so far. Obviously, the best fight right now is Paddy versus Gaethje. This is the second best fight of the year. It's one of the greatest Apex fights of all time. It's the fight of the night, surely. I mean, I think this was the fight of the night. There was that second round. You could put up against most rounds in the history of this sport, and it is a better... It is literally one of the best rounds of all time. They traded shots like it felt like 10 different times where Rahiki hurt Hardwick, and then Hardwick would fire back in a barrage of shots and catch Rahiki on the chin. Rahiki would move back, catch Hardwick when Hardwick was going in. He'd go forward. Like, it was unfucking believable. The violence on this card, the violence in this fight, it ended because Hardwick broke his jaw. And people, I see some people calling him a fucking quitter. If you're one of the people calling Hardwick a quitter, Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you big time if you're saying Hardwick's a quitter. All-time chin performance, low-key. This card, all-time chin performance card. Crazy fight. Easily my fight of the night. And a borderline... It's a fight of the year contender. Moving on. Jose Delgado versus Andre Fili. I thought Delgado would steamroll Fili. Fili had one of his... 1 in 5 fights, Fili goes in there, and he looks like he could be a champion. And he went in there and dropped Delgado and nearly finished him. And Delgado just came back and outdogged him throughout the fight. It was a bit of a slow one, but it was still a really solid fight. Delgado was just piecing him up. Big volume, big power. I'm surprised Fili didn't go out from any of the shots. He was landing big shots on Fili. Good chin performance. I'm going to keep saying it. Fili was able to eat all the shots. How many TKOs does Delgado have? Yeah, that was his first decision. That's a nuts thing. That's a really interesting thing that Fili is able to get knocked out by Dan Ige, who obviously has a lot of power, but recently doesn't really KO people. And then Delgado is just struggling to even KO him with his hardest shots. Good fight, good win for Delgado. And honestly, the stock on Fili kind of goes up there too. I was thinking he was going to steamroll him. Moving on to the co-main event, nothing much to say here. This was an okay fight, I'm not going to lie. Jillian Robertson kind of just ragdolled Limoges, as Limoges has been getting ragdolled over the last couple of years. She needs to figure out the grappling. I think she did okay from bottom compared to her, last few fights. But regardless, I think that was less on Limoges improving and more on just Robertson being, Robertson's no Weili. Robertson's no Janaroba, who I hate to give credit to, but, she looks like Hall Rosas Jr., so you got to give her credit for something. Jillian Robertson, good win. Kevin Vallejos is the best prospect in the UFC. And he will 100% be a fucking champion. He is fucking Evloev, Lerone Murphy, Volkanovski, Gene Silva, Yair Rodrigo Ortega, all get KO'd by Kevin Vallejos. They all get KO'd by Kevin. I'm sorry, maybe that's crazy to say. Volk's too old. Prime Volk obviously does circles around this kid. I'm not trying to shit on Volk, okay? Gene Silva can't withstand this kid. I know that they fought once, but Vallejos is different now. He's different now. Oh my god, what are you gonna do? Vallejos walked him down. He shelled up. Fucking walked him down. Fucking almost like Yoel Romero-esque, but with volume. He just walked him down against the fence. What the fuck was Josh Emmett supposed to do? This was like Steve Garcia and David Onama. What the fuck was Josh Emmett supposed to do? Somebody needs to stop this guy. Because if he gets the belt, he's going to be at the top for a long fucking time. Vallejos is that good. And he's got a chin of steel. We saw it in the Danny Silva fight. We saw it in the Gene Silva fight. He can sub you. He's got a good back take. We've seen that in the regionals. He's actually pretty damn good on the ground. He's got good takedowns. When you're trying to take him down, he has really good takedown defense. It can use some work. It's probably the lightest part of his game, but it's good takedown defense for the level that he's at. And once he fights people higher up, it'll get better. And he has the best KO power in that division now, arguably. What are you gonna? And in perfect technique. He didn't even get fucking hit, it feels like. What was Josh Emmett supposed to do? The elbows, the knees, the ground and pound, everything. Like when you're watching on the couch and you're watching a fight, how many times do we all just go, oh, that was stupid. Why did he do that? Why did he do this? Kevin Vallejos does everything that we want him to do as a viewer. Like everything you think a fighter should do, he does. And he does it in the best, most powerful, most devastating way. He's the best prospect in the UFC right now. And he's 100% getting the belt. That's what this fight told me. I don't think Josh Emmett's good. I don't think he ever had a shot here. But it's the technique and the skill. It's not the quality of the opponent that he beat. It's the technique and the skill that convinces me that there's no way Vallejos doesn't at least fight for a belt at some point. He scares me. He is fucking badass. Incredible card. Generational card. Next week we have Lerone Murphy versus Evloev. This card wasn't supposed to be that great and ended up being insane. That happens typically. It better happen next week because next week's card's looking a little bit weak. Even though the main event is a great fight, it's probably not going to be that entertaining. let's hope this happens next week. This has been Chinned. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one.